really participate or create it or have any power in it. All women did was hold the boyfriend's jacket at the corner of the pit. They were not involved at all. But then something happened.
I think with Girls' School, there's a definite element of respect. When we go on stage, people do give us a great deal of respect, which is fantastic. But I've been in bands before Girls' School that I've been on stage, people asking me if I'm tuning the guitar for the guitarist, or, you know, that sort of patronising comment, because they don't expect a female to get up and play guitar. You know, that's the way it's always been.
Metal has definitely always been a man's world. You kind of saw a bunch of women coming up maybe, I guess in the 80s, you know, with Betsy Bitch and Lita Ford, and you just had all these great female musicians, like true musicians, again, like actually could play, you know, like just shred on guitar. And we really, I mean, even though I've been seeing more females come into music in the last 10 years, I want to see more shredders. I want to see more people who really just fucking are amazing.
Especially in this decade, female artists are being taken seriously and not just as a gimmick is great.
In this, and we're doing this because we made music. That's first and foremost.
Right.
So how do you feel about being a girl in the metal industry? Are you an angry girl? Are you really angry?
Do you know what kind of questions they're going to ask you?
Probably the same questions that we always get asked. Not like, how did the band start? What's it like being a female rock star?
What's it like being a chick, man? What's it like being a chick?
Well, first of all, I have a vagina, so that means I
have no penis.
Yes, that means I am lacking a penis and testicles and a scrotum. Therefore, I have a uterus and ovaries.
Therefore, I am not fat. So what's it like to be a female in the rock industry? What's it like to be a female in the rock industry, Morgan?
It's just like it is to have a fucking dick. Personally, I think that we're in this because of the music, and they should be focusing on that before they focus on what we look like, you know, our exterior, or, you know, what genitalia we have or whatever, you know, it doesn't really matter to me, and I think that those are the type of questions that I kind of cringe when I hear them. It's like, oh.
Everybody tried to, you know, to put me a little bit more into like the, you know, the female, you know, the sexy image, but without power, and I didn't like that. And people in the record company, they said, get rid of the black leather, that's number one, be more of a girl. And I said, oh no, I can't do it, and, you know, I don't want to do it. I definitely want to, you know, be myself. And
talent isn't always enough in the eyes of the masses and the public.
You have to be attractive, and it's annoying. I mean, ugly dudes all across the board for metal, serious.
Yeah, exactly.
All across the board. Honestly, any band you can mention to me, I'll tell you, they're ugly.
Do we even look like pop culture? Do we look like we belong in a tabloid alongside of like repulsive mainstream icons? I am not a tool for exploitation, and this is turning into something that I didn't want it to be turned into. We have, you know, limits, we have parameters in which, you know, we want to be, you know, presented to the media. You know, and we're not cute little girls. We're like, we have a fuck you kind of attitude, and we don't take any shit from it.
I think you know, having women involved has definitely helped the metal scene grow because, as I said, it's bringing new fans in. I mean, there might be girls that were scared to go to a metal show that, you know, actually liked it, and, you know, you have a band, you know, all-female band like Kitty. It made more people feel more welcome into the metal scene, and that can only be a good thing.
I'm sure most of them don't want to be the chick in the band. They just want to be a good band.
Well, it doesn't feel like I'm the only girl in the band. Not to say that the guys are girls. I just mean that it's not awkward at all. We're, you know, above all, we're friends and communicate very well, and they're very respectful. And yeah, it feels great. You know, I'm not the only girl in the band.
Well, I don't have any more questions.
I like that,
So-
and you didn't even ask what's it like to be an all-girl band, did you?
Well,
An all-girl band.
Okay, what is it like to be an all-girl band?
You don't know. What's it like to be an all-guy band?
Since Girls' School, women have become much more visible in metal. Not only are they fronting some of the world's biggest metal bands, but they are now mastering the once male-dominated technique of extreme guttural vocals.
in Crisis. She was the smallest, littlest girl with the longest dreads and the most evil voice before you knew girls can growl like that. And I think she has influenced so many more bands, and I don't think gets the credit for that. You bring in bands like Kitty that I don't think would have existed without Crisis.
I feel like I'm my best as a person when I'm on stage, communicating with people, being as selfless as possible, just giving everything that I have to give.
I think it's good because they're no longer a sex symbol. It's not so much about visual appearance, because you see women out there that can scream grindcore vocals half as good, if not better, than some dudes out there. I think that women are kind of taking the lead now and just being stronger and showing that it's about the passion and the love for metal, as opposed to, oh, well, I'm just a cute girl that knows how to scream a little bit.
There's women that rock a lot harder than us. That's for sure, as fans, as musicians, and as drinkers.
A lot of these females are role models for these young girls. You see it every day. I think, whereas they couldn't identify maybe 5 years ago, with all men.
It's like you meet, when you go on the festival, you meet lots of women nowadays who are in the band. And so it's not that boys' club anymore. And I think boys are happy about that as well, because, it must have been a bit boring. It's just guys, sweaty, ugly guys around you. Nowadays, it's a couple of females. It kind of loosens us up,
Metal isn't the boys' club that it used to be. Going to shows in the early 90s, you didn't see a lot of women, You just saw a lot of, young white dudes. Now, when I go to a show or a festival, it's definitely a different cross-section of people who, they're all still metal fans, but it's just there's different ages, there's different genders, there's different races.
And just the fact that there are girls' t-shirts from Cannibal Corpse just tells you how things have changed over the last 10 years, and it's fucking awesome.
Is having kind of a tough persona on stage, is that important to you?
Yeah, because I am tough on stage. I feel very strong on stage, and I want to give that to the people in front of that stage, that you can just have a lot of strength and power, and just want to give it to these people, and they take a bit of that home.